Hello everyone, welcome back to Midwest Snowglobe Repair and Enchantment. So today I have another Disney snow globe that we are going to fix up today. Looks like we have Cinderella, pretty basic, on her carriage. A lot of really nice, cool little details. There are a couple things that are obviously wrong with this snow globe. One, the piece on top is not on there centered, and number two, the figurine inside seems to have shifted and she's crooked, and number three, I don't know how well you can see, but there's a couple of dings on the glass, which kind of surprises me. I've never seen that before. And I looked in my stash. Unfortunately, I do not have a replacement glass to put on that, so I think what I'll do is maybe adjust the glass some. That way I can maybe turn it, that way it's not right there in the front. So I might have to do that as a temporary fix, but eventually I'll get another piece of glass to replace that. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, here we go. So my aunt was shopping around at Goodwill, found her for $6. And this is going to be a bit more straightforward because this one, it's screwed on rather than glued on. Might have to find a smaller screwdriver to get a grip on this. Or maybe not. Nope, there it goes. So we'll just unscrew each of these. You gotta make sure to get the screws just on the outside because these couple screws are what hold the music box in place. Not quite. As far as I know, the music box works just as it should, so shouldn't really have to mess with that any. There we go, here we go. Okay. It just comes right off. So this particular model for a snow globe has this mechanism. When you wind the music box, it spins, and it's supposed to connect to a magnetic spinner that's inside under the figurine, which causes it to spin like a impeller would. So I'll see if I can possibly fix that, but unfortunately it's very common that when this starts to happen, the magnets most likely are done for, and I have not yet figured out how to actually fix that. So let's see. I'll get my pliers out. And if I'm going to take the glass out, I'm not going to bother to mark this, because I'm going to try to at least turn it that way it's off to the side somewhere where you won't see it immediately, because if you put it right in the back, you'll see it in the reflection and it magnifies it a little bit more. At least it's coming out pretty easy. Okay, just about got it. Okay, I think I got it. I just gotta carefully take her out. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay. So, a little bit of the old confetti glitter still left. Oh yeah, this is all seized up. Yeah, there's no way that's gonna get fixed. It's all messed up. So I'm gonna have to just try to make it look better, because I don't know if I can take that off or not. At least I've never been able to figure that out. Alright, so what I'll do next, I'll take this. The water's not bad, but it's got a little bit of a cloud to it, so I'm just going to go ahead and change the whole thing anyway. So I'm going to dump all this in. Whoa, hello. Leaking all over. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and get everything cleaned up. Alright, I got all of that cleaned up, and I managed to get this piece off the top. That'll be the last thing I do. Looks like it may have had a tip piece on here that had broken off, so I really don't want to break any more of this away. So when I started cleaning the figurine, I realized that the stopper was starting to fall apart, so I had to get into my stash and look for another. And I've got her all set. This thing will not spin at all anymore. It's completely seized, so I really don't know if I can fix that. So let's go ahead and let's get started on putting her back together. Oh yes, and I did manage to adjust the glass. I got those pieces of glass that are kind of bumped up. I just kind of put it to the side here, and that way when you're looking at her straight, wouldn't be the first thing that you notice. So let's go ahead, fill it up. I'm not gonna put any glue in this one just because I just don't think it's really gonna do much, because the confetti's a little bit more on the heavy side, but I also don't have, even if I wanted to, I don't have enough glue to really make much of a difference for that. So I'll still put in a little bit of rubbing alcohol just to make sure no bacteria or anything gets in there. Okay. Alright, now I'll go ahead and I'll get the confetti put back in. I'm gonna mix that up just a little bit, get it around there. There we go. Perfect. Just the right amount of water. It's gonna overflow a little bit, but that's okay. Give that confetti just a second to sink down. Let's see if I remember right. This is the front, so I want her to face this way as we start putting her back in. Now when you put a new stopper in, you got to be careful because it doesn't have as much flex to it as the original one had. It's a little bit tougher, almost like a brand new rubber band that's never been used. So you got a couple times I went a little too fast and a little too hard, and I ended up hitting the glass with the figurine, and one, if not both, would break. And then you'd have to glue the pieces of the figurine back together, and I mean, I can do it, but to me it's just never quite perfect, which I am a little bit more on the perfectionist side, if none of you guys have noticed. Okay, we've got that back down in there. Let's see how we look. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, not bad. Got an air bubble, but that's okay. I expected that. Just because there's a little bit of opening between the bottom part of that figurine where the magnetic impeller normally would be. Give it a good shake. Just try to get as much of that air bubble out as I can before we start in. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go in there with my syringe and see if I can't get that out. And even if I don't quite get all of it out, this piece will hopefully cover whatever remnants of it is left. So, next in line here, got that dried off a little. We'll get my syringe here. Try this off just a smidge. And then I'm going to take my pliers here. It's got a little water there. So I'm gonna kind of slowly, I kind of figured out it's a little better if I don't put the syringe in all the way. And I just kind of, almost like rain, fill it in. Because then I don't have other bubbles that start to pop up. And look at that. No bubble. Perfect. Okay, so next thing I'm ready to do is seal it up. And then after we get it sealed up, I'm gonna put the last piece up onto the top. So let's get some of this stuff out of the way. And turn this back around. Make sure this is dry. And then we're ready to seal it all up. And I'm going to put a little bit of extra glue since I had adjusted it. I'm going to have some of that glue go down in between the base and the glass. That way it has a good grip and it won't come off if somebody were to be shaking it around. The chances of that are a little bit on the lower side, but it has happened to me a couple of times. So, especially if my daughter decides she wants to shake this one up, safety first. Let's see. I think that'll be good. I don't really see anything that I've missed. One little bit right there. And then we'll give that just a minute and we'll let it cool down. And then all I would have to do is take the cover and put the screws back in. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that, but I'm going to put you guys on a pause just so this has enough time to cool down, because I don't think you want to sit here and just watch that. So we will be back in just a second. Alright, so the last thing we need to do, we just need to get this put back on. This part can be a little tough, just because it's a round surface, and I like to kind of play around and look at it from different angles before I fully glue it down, just to make it as perfect as I possibly can. And I think that's pretty close. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna kind of carefully bring it up, put the glue on underneath, and then come right back down. And you only got a little bit of time to do any last few second adjustments. Looks like I've got it pretty close. I'm going to hold this down for just a few seconds. Give that glue time to cool down, and then also make sure that it stays in place. Okay. Alright. That's good. Doesn't look too bad. I think I've got it. Nope, I didn't quite get it right. I gotta move it over a smidge. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my hair dryer and I'm gonna heat up the glue and adjust it. Yeah, sometimes that does happen to where it's a little harder to move them. I think that's really the best I'm going to get it anyway, which that's alright. Not a big deal. Alright, so I will get it up onto the pedestal for you, and you can see the final results. Alright guys, here she is. She's got herself back all up in there straight and proper. And the water's all clean. And I moved the dings in the glass to a different side so we don't see it right away. I'll give you kind of a little 360 view here. Yeah, you can see I didn't quite get the tip top right, but it's close. Not too bad. I won't give myself too big a hard time over that. This would be pretty perfect if I was able to fix the spinner inside, but I just don't have any idea how I can yet. But if any of you guys got some ideas, let me know in the comments. And so the music box works. I think it's called Fur-Elise, the melody is. I'm not for sure, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments. Turned out pretty good. I might let my daughter keep this one in her room if she's got some space. Otherwise, we'll find a place. But I am very thankful for my aunt who was able to find this for me. Just random day at Goodwill, and she found it, which is pretty unusual in this area because it's hard to find Disney snow globes in the thrift stores, at least over here. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again soon.